Miss Clemmer here. Welcome back to class. This week we will be working on sliding. But before we get started, I want you to make sure that you are in a dry, flat area and that all your toys are put away. It's also super important that when we are sliding, you are looking all around so you don't slide into your classmates. I then want you to ask your teacher to play some music that has a little bit of a beat to it so that we can stay with the song, okay? So before we get started, we want to be in a wide stance and a narrow stance. So this is going to be our wide stance. Can you tell me something that's wide? An elephant. Good work, Addie. Now I want us to go into a narrow stance. So our narrow stance is going to be like this. So our feet are going to be together. Can you tell me something that's narrow? A pencil. Good work. So ready? Show me your wide stance. Good, Addie. Now show me your narrow stance. Awesome. So now we're just going to start off on the side of our classroom and we're going to go to the right, okay? So we're just going to take one step into our wide stance and then take our other step into our narrow stance. And then let's do it 2 more times with me, okay? Ready? Wide, then narrow. Wide, then narrow. One more time. Wide, then narrow. Now we're going to go back to the left, okay? This time I want us to go a little bit quicker, okay? Wide, narrow, wide, narrow, wide, narrow. All right, can you spell wide with me? W-I-D-E. Okay, now I want you to spell narrow with me. N-A-R-R-O-W. So this time I want us to go a little bit quicker, okay? So have you ever played bingo? And do you know how to spell bingo? You have? Perfect. So it's B-I-N-G-O. So that's going to be the beat that we're going to go to, right? So wide stance, then narrow stance. So B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. Now let's go back to our left, okay? B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. Good work, Addie. So this time, for our task, I want you to go over to your teacher and I want you to ask your teacher for our worksheet for today. So this worksheet today, we're gonna do our wide and narrow. So I want you to circle the narrowest bag. Is this one narrow? Is that thin like a pencil? No. What about this one? It is perfect, so we're gonna circle it. And then I want you to color it yellow, okay? Now, we're gonna do wide. Which one is wide? Is this one wide? No, that one's thin like a pencil. How about this one? Is that wide like an elephant? Yep. So we're going to circle it, and then I want you to color the well whichever color you would like. Good job today, Addie. I'll see you later for our next task. Bye. Hi, Addie. Miss Clemmer here. Welcome back to class. Today we will be continuing with our sliding. But before we get started, I want you to make sure that you are in a dry and flat area. I also want you to make sure that all of your classmates are out of your way, and then when you are sliding, you are making sure that you aren't sliding into anyone. I then want you to go over to your teacher and I want you to ask her for 4 poly spots. So that's going to be what we're going to be using today, is poly spots. So we're going to lay them down on the ground an equal distance. So start with our first one and we can take 2 big steps. 1, 2. And we can lay our next one down and make sure that you are going on an angle, okay? Because we're going to be doing a zigzag pattern. So remember, 1, 2, 2 big steps. Lay our third one down, and then we're going to go to the left, and 2 more big steps. 1, 2. Alrighty. So if you remember from our first task, we worked on our sliding and keeping to a beat. So we used wide and narrow stances. So this time we're going to continue using our wide and narrow stances, but this time we're going to add our arms in. So I'm going to show you how our arms should look when we're in our wide and narrow stance. So wide, our arms are going to come out wide with us. Narrow, our arms are going to come in. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Alright, so let's do it 2 more times, but at a quicker pace, okay? Ready? Wide, narrow, narrow. So this time, I want you to go over to our poly spot, our first one that we laid down. And this time we're going to go in a zigzag pattern, okay? What's something that can go in a zigzag pattern? A snake? Good work. So remember, we're going to be turned sideways, and we're going to go wide and then narrow. We're going to do it 4 times, okay? to each of our poly spots. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Then we're going to change our sideways and we're going to go to our right. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. One more time, okay? Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Now I want us to go back to our beginning and we're going to do it another time, okay? Can you spell zigzag with me? Z, I, G, a little dash, Z, A, G. Alrighty, ready? So we're going to start with our left shoulder in the front, and we're going to go wide and narrow to our first poly spot. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Now we're going to go to our right. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. One more time. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Go work at it. When we're doing this, you can ask your teacher to play some music, and you can keep to the beat of that music, okay? So now, I want you to go over to your teacher, and I want you to ask your teacher for your worksheet. So our worksheet today is we're going to be following how the Easter Bunny goes. So you can either go in a really big zigzag pattern, a small zigzag pattern, or you can go in a curve pattern. So we're going to start off with the first one. This one isn't as big as the zigzag, so we're just going to follow the line all the way to the Easter Bunny. Let's do it one more time together, okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down. All the way to the Easter Bunny, okay? I want you to do the last two by yourselves, okay? Go work today, Addie, and I can't wait to see you next week for our next task. Bye!